Russia's president has laid down the gauntlet to Western forces, saying he's just getting started. It comes as Ukraine flew the flag on the strategically important island in the Black Sea that it retook just days ago.
Foreign ministers from the Group of Seven nations condemned Russia's recent talk of stationing nuclear weapons in Belarus as unacceptable.
Russia's latest warning to the G7. Is it a threat or just empty rhetoric? In this video, we will be discussing Russia's latest warning to the G7 and whether it is a threat or just empty rhetoric. Reports suggest that Russia will shut down the Black Sea grain deal, which allows Ukraine to feed much of the developing world if the Group of Seven nations decides to ban all exports to Russia. The G7 countries are the United States, United Kingdom, Germany, France, Italy, Canada, and Japan, and they are considering a near total ban on exports to Russia. Russia has for months threatened to halt the grain deal, which is now set to expire next month. Before we continue, if you're new here, please subscribe and join our community. By subscribing, you'll never miss our latest videos on geopolitics, economics, and finance trends. And if you find this video informative and insightful, please give it a like. Likes help our channel reach a wider audience, which means more people can benefit from our content. Now let's dive in the video. Russia's former president and current deputy of its Security Council, Dmitry Medvedev, posted on his Telegram channel and criticized the G7's idea of a total ban of exports to their country by default, stating that the idea is beautiful in that it implies a reciprocal ban on imports from Russia. In such a case, the grain deal and many other things that they need will end for them. Since Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022, the G7 nations' sanctions have focused more on halting the import of Russian goods and less on exporting goods to Russia. The import sanctions have forced Russia to sell oil, natural gas, and other goods at a discount to India, China, and other nations willing to ignore the sanctions. The new plan would add to the list of goods that would no longer be sold to Russia. Now let's take a look at other developments in the region. The first American-made Patriot air defense system has been put on combat duty in Ukraine, according to the Ukraine Air Force. The system will make it possible to shoot down Russia's Iskander-M ballistic missiles and repel Russian aircraft from Ukrainian borders. The Spanish Defense Minister, Margarita Robles, also confirmed that 6 German-made Leopard 2 tanks shipped from Spain are due to arrive in Ukraine this week. Ukrainian tank crews have completed training on Challenger 2 tanks in the UK, the British Defense Ministry said Sunday. In another development, Wagner Group boss Yevgeny Prigozhin said that he is instructing his mercenaries not to capture prisoners of war. This comes after Russian officials described an intercepted conversation posted to an unofficial Wagner-affiliated social media account. The post claimed the conversation was between 2 Ukrainian soldiers deciding to shoot a prisoner of war. Prigozhin made the comment in response to this and said, "We will kill everyone on the battlefield. Take no more prisoners of the war." Russian officials reacted angrily and with threats to what they said was a U.S. denial of visas to journalists who wanted to cover Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov's appearance at the United Nations. Lavrov said in Moscow that a country that calls itself the strongest, smartest, free and fair country has chickened out and done something stupid by showing what its sworn assurances about protecting freedom of speech and access to information are really worth. Be sure that we will not forget and will not forgive. Lavrov is traveling to New York to mark Russia's chairmanship of the Security Council. In addition, the Russian Ministry of Defense is trying to replenish soldier ranks depleted by the war without creating the kind of unrest caused by last fall's partial mobilization, which prompted legions of young men to leave the country. The ministry has launched a large recruiting campaign on Russian social media, billboards, and television seeking volunteers. The messages try to appeal to the masculine pride of real men while also pointing out the financial advantages of signing up. Now, let's discuss whether Russia's latest warning to the G7 is a threat or just empty rhetoric. The warning suggests that Russia may shut down the Black Sea grain deal if the G7 decides to ban all exports to Russia. However, this could be seen as an empty rhetoric. Russia's warning to the G7 regarding the potential shutdown of the Black Sea grain deal could be seen as an empty threat for several reasons. Firstly, it is important to note that the G7 has not yet decided to ban all exports to Russia. Therefore, Russia's warning may be premature and based on speculation rather than actual action taken by the G7. Secondly, even if the G7 were to ban all exports to Russia, it is unlikely that Russia would completely shut down the Black Sea grain deal. This is because the deal is mutually beneficial for both parties, and it is in Russia's interest to continue the trade. Lastly, it is possible that Russia's warning is simply a political maneuver designed to gain leverage in negotiations with the G7. By threatening to shut down the Black Sea grain deal, Russia may be hoping to pressure the G7 into reconsidering its stance on the export ban. In summary, while Russia's warning to the G7 may sound like a serious threat, there are several reasons to believe that it may be nothing more than empty rhetoric. It is important to consider the context of the warning and the potential motives behind it before drawing any conclusions. As we wrap up this segment, we want to hear from you. What do you think about the recent developments between Russia and the G7? And how do you think it will affect global trade? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed this content, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more updates on the latest news and trends. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.